It's a really good thing we have the Cruiserweight Classic to go through tonight, or there wouldn't be a video tonight, because NXT was boring as fuck. Oh yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your August 10th NXT/CWC review. And I said it in the opener. NXT was boring as fuck. If it wasn't for the CWC, I wouldn't be doing a review tonight. But I gotta talk about it because we got stuff going into TakeOver, etc. So we open the show with Bobby Roode leaving Regal's office, and you can tell he's been kissing his ass and rah-de-rah-de-rah. Then we have the Bayley and Asuka contract signing for TakeOver. Bayley comes out, does what she's been doing for the past year or so. Talks about who she's beaten in NXT, basically name drops all the NXT women that have moved up to the WWE. Talks about her underdog story in Brooklyn, talking about losing in Dallas. You know, she wasn't prepared for Asuka then, but she's prepared for Asuka now. I'm going to do two things that nobody has done. I'm going to beat Asuka, and I'm going to be the first NXT Women's Champion. Cookie, I know it's against the rules. You have to like NXT, and Bayley's the fucking greatest thing ever, and she's going to sell a lot of t-shirts when she gets to the main roster. But this is the cookie cutter Bayley promo that we see every fucking week. And then you got Asuka, who, great as she is in the ring, like Bayley, can't really talk because she struggles with English. I won't hold that against her, but don't bother then. Let her be the, I don't know, let her be the Goldberg strong silent type, you know, 2 words, whatever. Says, you know, you don't have what it takes. You know, this year I'm going to kill your dreams where last year they came true, making reference to the Barclays Center, etc. She tries to shake Bayley's hand. Bayley tries to be a badass, which just makes me laugh. Slaps Asuka's hand, makes her sign the contract, walks out of the ring, comes back, stares down Asuka again, tries to be a badass, and I laugh. Speaking of, okay, let me say, with all that being said, this was a useless segment. Contract signings usually are. The match at TakeOver is going to be good. We all know that. So tell us 4 or 5 weeks ago that this match is going to happen. Let Asuka have whatever matches she has on NXT, destroying people like she does. Let Bayley have whatever matches she has on NXT, you know, feel good babyface, you know, John Cena with tits Bayley, kind of matches that she has. You don't need to have either one of these girls on the mic. I shouldn't say girls, women, trying to be respectful. Neither one of them. And I'm sorry, like I say, I know Bayley is like the prized possession of NXT and all the NXT fans. Bayley doesn't contribute anything on the mic. I'm just saying, it's like Finn Balor. Finn Balor, I am ecstatic to see Finn Balor on the main roster. You don't need to give him a microphone very often, and if you do, keep it short, sweet, and to the point. It sucks because I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be good. It's going to tell us a lot of things. I'm going to go into that when I do the preview. Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering versus some jobbers. The jobbers get their names announced, but I didn't write them down because it doesn't matter. The Authors of Pain, who are the superstars that we're trying to push, still don't have names. I know, excuse me, they're trying to do the big, bad, scary, anonymous guys thing, but when the jobbers have names and the superstars don't, it's a juxtapost. It doesn't work. Slams and elbows and knee lifts and corner splashes was the bulk of this match. They threw around their opponents. I will give them credit where they both picked up their opponents at the same time. I thought they were going to do side-by-side power bombs. They power bombed their opponents as opposed to like just going down. Okay, yes, I'm doing hand signs in this video apparently. Whereas typically 2 power bombs would go side by side like this. They power bombed their opponents against each other before dropping them. That was a cool move. But the match was bullshit. It lasted a couple seconds, it felt like. They get jumped by TM61 after the match, who fail hard and get destroyed. So what the fuck was the point? Nakamura is seen in the back making fun of Samoa Joe, making fun of, you know, towards their title match at TakeOver. Nakamura is in the back. Again, Nakamura is a little better on the mic than Asuka, but not by much. He says he's not hard to find, but maybe I'll find Joe instead. Andrade Cien Almas versus Angelo Dawkins. I don't care. This match was so good that Almas won it with a DDT. Yeah, that's it. And I wouldn't care, and it wouldn't bother me so much if it wasn't for the next little bit. Because after the match, Bobby Roode comes out. And let's just say once again how fucking awesome Bobby Roode's entrance music is. The glorious thing, fucking great. He congratulates Almas, but he's not congratulating him for the win. He's congratulating him for the great opportunity he has coming up at TakeOver Brooklyn. Per William Regal's decision and instruction or whatever, it's going to be Andrade Cien Almas, who doesn't deserve this at fucking all. I'm sorry. Versus the It Factor, the glorious Bobby Roode. The Barclays Center are paying to see me, not you, just remember that, and thanks to me, TakeOver will now be glorious. Speaking of people who do not deserve to face people, Regal and Aries in the back. Aries is asking how you can possibly have a TakeOver special the weekend of SummerSlam without the greatest man that ever lived. Regal says, of course we can't have a pay-per-view without the greatest man that ever lived. How about I put you in a match against that guy you've been dodging? No way, Jose. I really, really have a lot of respect for Bobby Roode. I have a lot of respect for Austin Aries, despite the fact that most people seem to have turned on him in the past little while. I've been noticing on Twitter and on YouTube and etc., etc. I'm going to borrow, because I've been watching a lot of videos from JD from NY206. Discovered his channel just recently. Really good guy. Go. I don't know the guy, but go check out his videos. They're fucking great. Why are these two amazing established wrestlers fighting these two, here it is, goons? Fucking goons. If NXT had a pre-show, Andrade Cien Almas should be facing No Way Jose in the dark match of the pre-show. Fucking yes. What? Why? This is what I'm noticing is a very disturbing pattern with NXT TakeOver shows. They throw together three, because we'll get to the third one in a second, three awesome title matches that we really want to see, and then roll the dice and shuffle the deck on the rest. Sadly, and I shouldn't say sadly because I like both these girls, best thing about this whole show, Billie Kay versus Liv Morgan. Two girls that NXT really hasn't put any stock in whatsoever, other than being enhancement talents for other people. These two girls, who I like, facing each other tonight, best thing on the fucking show. Bar none. Liv Morgan is a lot of fun. I've been saying that in the past. Billie Kay, since having one match on SmackDown, coming back and being like cock of the walk as a heel is great. Liv Morgan isn't the most polished wrestler in the world, but I think Liv Morgan is a lot of fun. Collar and elbow tie up and a tackle by Kay and a takeover and an armbar. Tackle by Morgan, airplane style head scissor maneuver, snake eyes forearm and a forearm by Billie Kay. Choke in the corner, cradle suplex and a head and arm lock by Kay. Forearms and an arm drag by Morgan. Jawbreaker, takedown and a bulldog by Morgan and a monkey flip. Big boot by Kay. Out of nowhere like an RKO, gets the win for Billie Kay. These women are the women that you need to push. Liv Morgan, Billie Kay, Deonna Purrazzo, Aaliyah, who's the other one? The other one that's going to debut at TakeOver. Ember Moon, who my buddy Guapo saw at a show. He said she was pretty good. Somebody sent me a video last week. Apparently, her finisher, if it's the same one that I saw in this video, is a flipping stunner from the top rope, which is pretty fucking amazing. I'm already impressed before the girl even debuts. Gargano and Ciampa, we showed their highlights from their match from the CWC last week. Fucking amazing. Go watch the match. Go watch my review of the CWC from last week, because that match was fucking special. Then we see them in the back, William Regal asking if the match we saw at the CWC last week was going to affect their ability to work as a tag team, because Gargano and Ciampa are getting their shot at the Revival at TakeOver. I'm not going to lie, all the respect I have for Nakamura, Joe, Asuka, and Bayley, this might be the match I'm looking forward to the most now. Just saying. We get a preview promo video for Ember Moon, who I just mentioned. Gargano and Ciampa took on some jobbers, and they do what they do, essentially. Gargano works the arm a lot. They do a lot of tandem offense. It's always killer. Dirty enziguri by Ciampa. Gargano has that slingshot spear that I like so much. A sandwich of super kicks gets the obvious win for Gargano and Ciampa. You just found out they've got a title shot at the pay-per-view. Yeah, they're not going to lose against jobbers. We see highlights of Hideo Itami's return against Sean Maluta and get the announcement that he's going to be on NXT next week. Not that he's going to be in a match, not that he's going to be part of anything, but he's going to be there. Come hang out at NXT next week, because this guy that you like to see wrestle is going to be there. Oh yes. Samoa Joe versus Mojo Rawley was the main event, and this went about as well as you can expect. This stems from Samoa Joe jumping Mojo Rawley last week before he pitched his little fit about having to face Nakamura at TakeOver. They took this opportunity to take Mojo, who is impressive in the ring, but is also kind of a comedy act, along with Zack Ryder, who in NXT has been strictly tag teaming with Zack Ryder and hadn't had any singles matches since they put that tag team together. But we're going to have him go against the champion, and anybody's going to care because we see this match. Oh, fucking Christ. Mojo brawls in the corner to start, tackles him 3 times and tosses Joe out of the ring. They brawl outside, there's some headbutts, and Mojo eats the steps. From here on in, it gets a little more even because, the adrenaline and the emotion from Mojo Rawley just fucking disintegrates. They trade punches, corner clothesline by Mojo, enziguri by Joe, a kick and an elbow by Joe, a tackle, they trade some punches, clothesline by Joe, a slam and a takedown by Joe, Kokita clutch, and Joe gets the obvious win. Nakamura shows up on the stage. He walks very slowly and weirdly the way he does down to the ring. The security guards run down to the ring before anything can really happen. There's a wall of security guards. Nakamura, I know he's weird, I know he plays the mind games, whatever. Nakamura reaches over all the security guards and tweaks Samoa Joe's nose, to which the crowd chant, "Got your nose." I kind of hope Samoa Joe wins. I love Nakamura. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. I think his act is great. I think all of his psychology and his mannerisms and the entire character that he's brought to NXT are great. I want him to lose his first match, have build it up some more, build it up, have another pay-per-view thing before Survivor Series or before the Royal Rumble, have him get his victory there. Samoa Joe cheat to win even. Because Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, I wish Eric Young was on this show so that I could make the joke about the TNA invasion. But seriously, no. Samoa Joe is going to have an awesome match with Nakamura. I really don't care who wins. We win either way. Gargano and Ciampa need to rescue the tag team championships off of the boring-ass Revival. I need to be revived when they are in the ring because fucking sleeping to the point of death. Bayley versus Asuka is going to be good. Promo did nothing for me tonight. Friggin' Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, I'm going to borrow from JD once again, facing goons at the TakeOver. I can't. I fucking can't, guys. And Nakamura doing the got your nose to Joe. What the fuck happened on this show tonight? We got 2 matches announced that pissed me off. One match that I hoped was a foregone conclusion. I'm really happy for Gargano and Ciampa, especially after the show they put on last week at the CWC. Liv Morgan versus Billie Kay took the little bit of time that they got, put a good match out. These are the girls that you need to push after Bayley and Asuka go to the main roster. Just putting that one out there. And they were the best thing of this show. Like, yeah, we got some announcements that lead to other things that are happening later on. But as far as the literal things that happened on this show, Billie Kay versus Liv Morgan, who half the time are enhancement talents, were the best thing on the fucking show. Fuck this show. Fuck this show. Cruiserweight Classic kicked off round 2. Now, I don't know what happened, because this show was only about 40 minutes long. Granted, it's only about 52 minutes long usually. The show on my network, and you guys know I watch in Canada, the network is an actual channel. So after the second match, it just went to a lot of promo bullshit for other stuff. So was there only 2 matches tonight? Because that's all I saw. Round 2. These are the beginning matches of round 2 of the Cruiserweight Classic. I like it. It's good. Gran Matalic versus Tajiri was our opening match. And like I say, there's only 2. So it's the first match, and it's the second last match. It's the semi-main, and it's also the opener. Collar and elbow tie-up and a headlock by Matalic and a snapmare side headlock by Tajiri and an arm drag in return by Matalic. You guys know anything you can do, I can do better. I love that story. Arm drag battle ensues. Trip by Tajiri and a collar and elbow tie-up. Side headlock by Tajiri. Head scissor by Matalic. Grounded armbar by Matalic. Octopus stretch by Tajiri. Ankle lock by Tajiri. Pinning reversal sequence follows. The faster the match, the shittier my writing is. I'm sure you guys have noticed by now. Where did I go now? Seated armbar by Matalic, chops by Tajiri, head scissor by Matalic, super kick and a kick by Tajiri, neck breaker by Tajiri, headlock and transition into a figure 4 headlock. Mudhole stomp by Tajiri, they trade forearms and a springboard drop kick by Matalic. Springboard somersault poncha outside by Matalic is one of the highlights of this match. Dragon screw in the ropes by Matalic and a springboard elbow. Springboard back elbow by Matalic and a super kick by Tajiri. Matalic in the Tree of Woe. Doesn't Tajiri rear across the whole damn ring and hit him with a baseball slide to the face? Oh, yes. Second rope, something by Gran Matalic is turned into a powerbomb by Tajiri, jackknife style. Buzzsaw kick by Tajiri, but Matalic immediately gets up to hit the Matalic driver. That Michinoku driver brainbuster snap slam cradle thing that he did in the first round that looks disgusting and also very effective gets the win for Gran Matalic. I was really thinking that they were going to push Tajiri farther through this tournament, but Gran Matalic is really, really fun to watch. For somebody I don't know, and you guys know if I don't know somebody, typically I'm not very interested. But now we're in the second round and we've got matches full of people that I've seen at least once, haven't I? The second match and main event of the evening, apparently, unless somebody tells me that I missed something, Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander. Test of strength to start off, and a headlock by Cedric and an armbar by Kota. Armbar by Cedric and a keylock and a headlock by Kota. Shoulder tackle by Kota. Chain wrestling sequence is to follow. Armbar by Cedric. Armbar takedown by Kota. Again, it's simple. And I know you guys think I harp on this a lot, but that little bit of mentality, it only lasts for a couple seconds in a match, but that whole, haha, anything you can do, I can do better, adds to a match. They trade arm drags, a reverse Ronda by Cedric, pinning reversal sequences to follow, and a side headlock by Cedric. Tackle and a back elbow by Cedric takes me to the next page. Uppercut by Cedric, clothesline style kick by Kota, just like wallops him right in the chest like a fucking tree trunk, if I can be cliche like that. Chopped in the face and a springboard dropkick by Kota. Suicide tope by Cedric. Springboard clothesline. Suicide tope by Cedric, followed up by a springboard clothesline. Chops and stomps to the face by Cedric, and what the fuck does that say? Oh, chops and stomps to the face by Cedric, and they trade strikes. My writing sucks. I do apologize. Dropkick by Kota, and they trade forearms. Standing spinning corkscrew press by Kota. Exploder by Kota. Moonsault to the and a moonsault to the outside. Snap Michinoku driver by Cedric was fucking dirty. Elbow shot by Cedric and a Pele by Kota. Running Insuguri followed by a brainbuster, followed by a super kick by Cedric. Snap, release, suplex, roundhouse kick, and that sick Golden Star powerbomb gets the win by Kota Ibushi. Now, what I have said, it's not quite Gargano versus Ciampa, but the way the commentators played up a lot, the fact that Cedric Alexander has grown up a fan of Kota Ibushi, you know, now he's facing this guy that he's a fan of. We don't, it could be really bad if he decides to be starstruck and whatever. But that last sequence, the running Insuguri into the brainbuster by Cedric, he goes for an immediate pinfall in between. I didn't write that down. He goes down for the pin. The kick out happens. He immediately transitions into a super kick almost without thinking about it. And you see right there on his face the, you know, the anguish of battle and all that sort of thing. The crowd at the end of this match, and this is how you know you've done something. Cedric didn't win. Kota Ibushi I think there's a golden chip on that guy's shoulder, no pun intended. I know he's got a big name. I know it's a name that I've heard before this tournament started. I'm pretty sure he's going to go far, if not to the finals. Cedric Alexander, who had a failing effort tonight, got a huge "Please sign Cedric" chant. And if that's not good enough, out from the fucking curtain comes Triple H. Patting Cedric on the back, raising his hand, you know, and then he turns to the crowd with a big thumbs up. He's like, yeah, sounds like a good idea. So we got Cedric Alexander coming to Raw, I'm pretty damn sure. And that type of feel-good moment, is almost better than the win. I mean, rumor has it that WWE has already signed Kota Ibushi, and good for them. Guy's fucking phenomenal. But Cedric Alexander, who I really wasn't paying attention to in this match until the match started, if that makes sense, really showed something as well. And that's a talent that Triple H, the mind behind this tournament, the mind behind NXT, and the mind behind some of the changes that are happening in WWE. Cedric Alexander, what he showed tonight, is the type of talent that I think Triple H could have a lot of fun with, if that makes sense. Anyways, guys, a little bit of a ranty episode. Like the two matches that we got from the Cruiserweight Classic were fucking great. Gran Matalic advances and Kota Ibushi advances. Both guys that I have a lot of fun watching. Like I say, Tajiri only because I'm familiar with him. I would have liked to see him go farther. But you never know what else he could be doing for WWE. He comes out to his old WWE music, for God's sake. So, like, you never know what WWE may or may not have in store for him. The rumors that Kota Ibushi's already been signed by WWE/NXT, and now the big hint, the big, hit it on the nose that we got from Triple H tonight that we're going to get Cedric Alexander on the main roster. I'm not as worried about the fact that he didn't advance in the tournament, if that makes sense. Really, really good episode of the CWC tonight. Doesn't make up for the fact that NXT was shit. Oh, no it doesn't. And if you disagree with me, you can always tell me if you guys actually want to give me a legitimate argument as to why NXT was great tonight. Let me say, I know we built towards the takeover. I get that. We got two shitty matches that I really don't want to see, that two of my favorite wrestlers deserve better than. We got one match that I really do want to see. Like I say, the other title matches are building as we go. But this show tonight, not looking forward, not looking back, this NXT episode tonight sucked balls for money. And if you disagree with me, that's fine, because this is the Spaz Phoenix channel. I'm Spaz, you're not. Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.